There's a lot of naysayers out there saying that there's no deals out there or complaining that they can't find any deals. Now, we're recording this in early 2024, and I think Ian and I can both attest that deals are strong. Deal flow is there. There's less competition out there. Are deals going to come and knock on your door, slap you in the face and say, hey, buy me? Maybe not. That being said, there's still a lot of opportunity out there. So if you're a real estate investor or an aspiring real estate investor, this could be a really good time in the market for you.
Yeah, there's always good times, whether they're up, they're down, they're left, they're right. It does not matter. You know, one of our great mentors, Warren Buffett, talks about buying in up cycles and down cycles and left cycles and right cycles. It does not matter. There's always an opportunity that presents itself as long as you're always looking. And honestly, when people are running out, my days as a fireman, we were always running in. And Warren Buffett talks about the same exact thing of running in when people are running out. And I can tell you right now, our eyes are open to where people are running out the door and where we're about to run in. So I'm excited to talk about this exact topic and tell you where we're finding deals in early 2024.
Yeah, let's talk about that to see. I think it's obvious we're both very opportunistic, not just on the lending side, but on the buying side, being opportunistic in general, not only sticking to the asset classes that we're comfortable with, but potentially even growing into additional asset classes as new opportunities come about. I think there's a spot in the market that if you have an established business, a back-end system, you have an operation in place, you can in essence mold that to any type of asset class if you would like to do. And that being said, if you're just starting out, that's okay. We've obviously done lots of videos on, hey, if you wanted to start from scratch, what you would do. This video, I think, is a little bit more implementing, you might already have in place. There's a lot of real estate investor friends that I think that Ian and I both knew. Not that they stopped doing real estate investing, but I think they were struggling to find good deals, or the deals weren't working out the way that they thought because the market's changed. That kind of made Ian and myself level up of, you know what, this is great. There's going to be a lot less competition out there. It's not necessarily the mentality of the strong will survive, but the motivated and ambitious are going to continue to go out there and be in a position to capitalize. Ian could probably say he's probably purchased less deals number-wise, unit-wise than in previous years. I've actually done less loans in previous years. Now, I think both of us would do as many good opportunities as we could find. I think that's a given. We both have the ability to do as many good deals as we have the ability. But I think a lot of this is, let's do better deals. Instead of being worried about numbers, let's do the best of the best deals. And I'm not chasing shiny objects, and I'm not chasing small margins. I know a lot of lenders in our space that have blown up and grown substantially. And in my mind, it was a race to the bottom. Hey, let's do the most deals to make the least amount of money. And I think a lot of real estate investors did that as well. And I think a lot of real estate investors, continue to just do deals on tiny margins. I don't like to work in the tiny margin business. And I don't think anyone should work in the tiny margin business, right? If you could potentially do one big deal a year and you can make all the money that you needed, why do 10 smaller deals? Like, it's about doing the right business, but it's also about doing it the way that kind of you see fit inside your operation and potentially what skill sets you have to offer. And I think if you're in a position where you have resources and capital and time and motivation, 2024 is just going to be your year.
Those points of, success and motivation and resources are good for any market. And sure, 2024 might be turbulent. We don't know. We're recording this before the Fed said what they're going to do. The one thing that we're looking for in the marketplace is stability. So what does that mean when we're looking for stability? We're looking for asset classes that provide that no matter if the market's stable or unstable. And luckily for us, we're involved in, self-storage, which has provided great returns all through turbulent markets. Although it's, there's some issues right now with rent increases and expenses. But side by side with that, multifamily housing, people need a place to live. Where are we looking for deals? What are we uncovering? What I would say, utilizing those tips that Jason just outlined, is look for the deals that you are the most comfortable with, you have the most knowledge about, the ones that you can limit your downside risk. You got to remember, when we first started in 2012, 13, 14, we didn't know that was the bottom of the market. We had blinders on. We were just getting involved. So if you're new to real estate, this might be a great time to get involved because you have no clue what's going on. But With that being said, we jumped in presumably at the bottom of the market. But at that point, the way we looked at real estate was I can buy a house for all in at like 50, 60, 70 grand renovated. And if I got a mortgage and if nothing else, the thing broke even for that whole time period and it was worth a whopping 120 grand, but I had 10 of them, who cares? I have $1.2 million at the end of my firefighting career. And that's how I looked at it. That's how I got through that turbulent time, because I didn't know real estate well enough to know what I was looking at. Hindsight's 2020 in any investment, in any opportunity, I would have said, damn, I should have bought literally everything. I shouldn't have renovated them. And I should have just sold those shells 10 years later, 5 years later, if I had the cash to do that. But none of us have the foresight or the wherewithal to do that. And if you do, you probably have a really nice private jet or a private island, or you're a market maker, right? But you need to be able to do the best deals that are presented to you at the time with your skill set, with your knowledge, with your abilities, and how you're going to manage your risk, your capital, your investors' capital, the bank's capital, to make sure that you don't lose it. And I think that's a really key takeaway or skill set that you can apply here in early 2024.
Foresight is actually pretty simple. Start buying immediately and don't stop buying. Don't stop. You have momentum. Keep moving forward, right? This is a long game, right? Can you go out there, wholesale a property, flip a house, ride the market up at a good times and make good money, great money? Yeah, absolutely. But let's be honest, most of those market makers in real estate are older. They've been in the game for longer periods of time, right? They've acquired stuff. A lot of them have, seen multiple cycles, right? And they might go back and say, hey, you know what? Slap myself in the face. I should have held on to all these properties. But on the other side, they didn't sell some of those properties. Maybe they wouldn't have accelerated as much as possible. We've had videos about why, Ian's selling some of his assets and in general, and it's to catapult to the next level, right? Like if you see 5, 10x growth, or if it's going to take you 5 or 10 years to accomplish what you could accomplish today, in essence, you're fast forwarding in a decade today by having that capital in-house. You can invest in better assets and better assets and better assets and better assets. And that's the goal. We sold a lot of our rentals because that catapulted us to the next level, so I could deploy more money into my own money into hard money loans, right? There's lots of different ways to look at that. But the foresight is start now and, finish years down the road. This isn't like a 5-year game plan. This is a forever game plan. And that shouldn't be scary, right? You continue to grow and you continue to improve. I mean, inside our business, I'll tell you, there's 2 things that we're focused on the lending side and the acquiring side. On the lending side, we just want to continue to do good loans to the right real estate investors. I'm not chasing small margin deals on headache deals. We want to write good loans to good real estate investors. And I might not even give them the highest leverage. I might not even be the best terms, and that's okay. And, I might not be able to get every single deal. That's okay, right? The real estate investors we know that we work with know it's, hey, Jason might be a little bit more expensive and I might get a little bit less leverage, but he's going to be an easy transaction. He's not going to micromanage me. It's not going to be like going to a bank or an institutional backed lender. It's going to be an easy transaction. And that's what we're known for. And that's what we're continuing to do. Like, I don't want to go in the opposite direction. I don't want to do lots and lots and lots of skinny margin deals with high risk, right? Because again, cycles go up, you make a lot of money. Cycles go down. Should you lose all that money? No, you shouldn't lose all that money. If you wrote good loans, if you bought good properties, if you invested in the right assets, at the worst case scenario, just stay stagnant. Sometimes they should continue to increase, right? Even if the property value doesn't increase, right? Let's say the property value is $100,000, and let's say in 5 years from now, it's still $100,000. Well, guess what? You still had cash flow that you reinvest the dividends if it was free and clear or had a mortgage on it and paid down on the mortgage. We're always looking to invest in other assets and to purchase properties. Now, do we operate? Typically not. I don't really like operating real estate, but we'll invest as a limited partner, or we'll invest in another way that we can still see the benefits of holding real estate and owning assets without having to operate. That's what works best for us. Knowing who you are and what you want to do is a big challenge. A little ego check of like, this is what I'm good at, you'll get much further.
And I would say we try to keep these videos 10 to 15 minutes long because we know everyone's super busy. So I want to make sure we leave you with the 3 asset classes that we're looking for in 2024. If you guys get any value out of this before we do that, please make sure you like or subscribe. We do this content because we enjoy talking about it. We don't have anything to sell. We're not trying to monetize. Me and Jason talk about this every single day. So make sure you like or subscribe. But here are the 3 asset classes that we're looking at right now. We're going to continue to grow our self-storage portfolio. We are looking to do it a little closer to home, but we've liked what self-storage has done so far in the up market. And as this market has taken a sharp dive over the past 12 to 24 months, self-storage has continued to perform. We're going to continue to look for multifamily properties, because residential people always need a place to live. Looking for good value add properties, there's always good debt on it, and there's always good opportunity in the multifamily space. And the final thing that we're looking at, and we are potentially opening a new line of business, but we are looking at some new construction builds. And people, you might say, you're crazy, but I'll tell you why we're crazy, or why we're not crazy, is because everybody's fleeing from it. But the one thing that we have, going back to what Jason said early in this video, is we have the wherewithal and the skill sets to do it. We have the capital partners, not only from private capital, but from a lending standpoint, that are willing to lend on those deals and allow us to do it, which a lot of developers, small developers, can't get done right now, providing opportunity to buy land that is shovel ready and ready to go. Side by side with that, we don't have the trauma of years of operating that asset class, where people have read the ups and the downs, and they bought the top and now they're at the down. And finally, the legacy asset. We talk a lot about, when people co-invest with us, the ability to do legacy assets. This is going to provide true legacy assets, the ability to provide quality products that we built from the ground up, that we know for the next 50 years will have very, very, very limited maintenance. So that's what we're looking into right now, and that's what we're going to continue to grow our portfolio on. 2 asset classes that we've done very well in, and we're looking at opening up a third line in an asset class that we understand, that we have the skill set for, but we've never completed yet. And it's a good opportunity right now, as people are fleeing out of that space, for us to jump in and take a look.
Hopefully this video motivated you. If you have any questions related to any topics that myself or Ian discussed, feel free to comment below. Ian and I check and reply to comments ourselves. Happy to help. We put videos out like this once a week, so make sure to check back next week. And if you like this video, make sure to do us a favor and just smash that like button. And even better, smash that subscribe button. We'll personally see it, and we certainly appreciate it. Until next time, thanks, guys.